the company on day one. Leaders follow this rule as well. Another one, raise your hand if you believe that recruitment plays one of the most important role in the success of any organization. Agree? Yes? Right? I need to highlight this. In the time of, we'll talk about that quickly later on. In the time of ChatGPT and artificial intelligence, madali na pong mabudol today. Ang galing-galing sa interview, pero pagdating sa tunay trabaho, wapakels. And so we need to be able to ask the right questions. We need to be able to test applicants accurately, not just based on written skills, but based on the way they get their job done as well. Right? Raise your hand if you have started to use artificial intelligence software for recruitment. Anyone here? Right? I'm going to give you a quick trivia. A lot of you probably are already using it. It's just that you don't know that it was artificial intelligence. And I need to highlight that everyone needs to evolve also in using that software. We'll talk about more of that later on. Third, I think it's harder to trust colleagues and build relationships with them in a remote work setting. If you don't see someone face-to-face, mas mahirap ba sometimes ang trust? I think so. Out of sight, out of mind. You don't know if the person's getting the job done or if they're just watching Netflix. Kinakausap mo sa meeting, pero sa background, merong humihingi ng size 10. And so now you don't know if the person's really getting the job done as well, right? Last, I think today's younger generation are more committed and passionate with their work. Daming galito. No? Medyo, hindi no? We'll talk more about that quickly also later on because let's be mindful. Anyone entering the company, if they happen to be young, is not our enemy. Our goal is to coach them. Our goal is to make them appreciate why they need to change things. So a few next steps. I only have 2 steps for our dear participants in this quick session. And quick step number 1 is this. I want you to please consider to adapt to technology. Wala pong excuse. You cannot tell me that, John, hindi ako mag-TikTok. It's just not me. John, hindi ako magamit ng software na yan. If you don't move, someone else is going to move you and you will be left behind. Right? So adapt to technology, harness the good, but also be mindful of the risk. What good and risks am I talking about? For example, and may I ask, raise your hand if you are familiar with ChatGPT. I think a lot of us. ChatGPT can have this simple prompt that says, "Hey ChatGPT, I am crafting a job posting for the position of X. Please send me in bullet points what are the key responsibilities." And in a span of a few seconds, that can be cut and paste as a vacancy role into your website. Imagine 10 years ago, that wasn't there. It makes our lives easier. So especially for people in the recruitment, you don't need to spend hours on this. Yung iba, 5 hours. Kailangan pang i-edit yung grammar. Right? These things make life easy for us. Another example I want to share about technology, anyone is familiar with Discoverly? One of my favorite applications that you can embed on Gmail. So what does it do? You create an account, and every time someone sends you an email, kukunin ni Discoverly yung email address niya, and in a span of few seconds, it will tell you all the social media accounts of that person. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Why? Most of the time, if you are a normal person, you only use one email address for everything. Right? And this is what a lot of recruiters do because we all know today, when we interview people, we don't just check their resume. We also stalk their social media accounts. You'll never know if this person is criminally liable for something else. You also want to know how this person lives their lifestyle and if they are a good fit for the company. By the way, this is AI. But this is not a 1-year-old technology. It was created way back in 2009. So technologies like this have been around for quite some time. It's just that we're not aware that they're also using artificial intelligence. You're familiar with Glassdoor? Right? Glassdoor is the #1 website for finding out what people are saying about your company. Para po siyang TripAdvisor. Every organization, it gives you a ranking of 1 star to 5 stars. It even ranks the CEO of that company. It tells you what is the average salary per position. It also has its own window for telling you what are the typical questions that can be asked during the job interview. So anonymously, people can post something like, "Don't apply in this company, it's a toxic company." Or apply in this company because there is breakfast, lunch, dinner every day. For example, right? And again, if you look at the young talents today, meron silang point of comparison. 20 years ago, this wasn't what the Gen X had. And so you're gonna expect a lot of younger people who are gonna be more choosy and selective when they apply for jobs because they can check if you guys are worth applying for. Remember ha, ang mindset ngayon ng mga kabataan, hindi ako nag-audition para sa inyo. Ino-audition kita kung okay ka bang kumpanya. And a job interview, therefore, is a two-way street. I am not begging for a job. You also need me. Therefore, we both are partners in this journey. This is Rezi, one of the most popular apps. You upload your resume and Rezi will edit your resume and change everything according to what the company or industry is looking for in a span of few seconds. Again, artificial intelligence. It's been there for quite a while. It's around 3 years now. Another one I'd like to share, and this one's where adapting. Therefore, so notice, so many technologies are now available for many of us, both for the recruiter and the manager, and also for the applicant. Here's what I would like you to consider. To adapt means not to rely solely on traditional means for evaluating candidates. Traditionally, what do? We have the following items. We can either have resume, interview, and aptitude test, right? Usually, nang ginagamit to check if a candidate is worth entering the company. But I need to highlight number one, they can be faked. Amen? They can be fake. People can fake what's inside their resume. And sometimes people are just brave enough, di naman to double check. So sometimes, yung mga percentages na nilalagay nila, sales achievement of 42%, near around up to 60%. Right? Another example is that interviews can be memorized. Madaling mag-memorize ng top 10 questions that will be asked during a job interview. I've had a lot of interviews with Gen Zs, sometimes lantaran sa harap mo, using Zoom. Habang nagtatanong ka, binabasa nila ang sagot sa ChatGPT on the left monitor. And they don't care because they think it's normal. A lot of people do it anyway. So let me just watch and read. ChatGPT is able to listen in. So when it listens to the question, it gives the answer in text. Yung text, babasahin nila. This is why sometimes I strongly recommend, if the position is critical, don't do virtual interviews. If you can, do physical, face-to-face interviews. It's different when you see the person live and in the flesh. So not only can it be fake, it can be misleading. Ito po ang ating tinatawag na budol hire. Galing mag-Ingles, napaka-fluent, but the person's not fit for the position. They can memorize the answers. They can also manage a lot of things. So be mindful when doing these things. I want you to consider something different. Case study number one, companies are changing the way they interview people. For example, in the airline industry, when they select cabin crew applicants, they subject the cabin crew to build a tent for 15 minutes together with other cabin crew applicants. Why? Number one, mahirap mag-build ng tent. And I'm not talking about the Lazada na pinapump lang ha. I'm talking about the Coleman na may mga poles that really takes a lot of time to build. Why do they want to do this to their cabin crew applicants? One, if you're subjected to build it under time pressure, you are forced to communicate with other applicants. So it tests your communication skills. It also tests what do you do in times of panic. Because that is very important in emergency situations in an airplane. Most importantly, they want to see how you communicate with your colleagues. If you notice, and I come from the airline industry, I spent 4 years with AirAsia. Airline companies don't want their cabin crew members to be too dominant. Kasi baka mga away ng pasahero. They also don't want their cabin crew applicants to be too soft and too humble. Why? Baka pwedeng i-take advantage ng pasahero. So just the right amount of assertiveness. And this therefore reveals the personality in the next 15 minutes rather than solely using the resume and also the interview lang. Another example I want to share, and this is something that this is a guy that I've learned a few years ago. This is Gian Havilona. In 2018, I met him, and he's an owner of a website and a mobile app software. He hires mostly engineers and ICT professionals. And it's interesting that when he hires an engineer, he subjects the applicant to play Mobile Legends for 30 minutes right in front of him. Anyone here plays Mobile Legends? May nag-ML ba dyan? Right? Okay, marami. Please take note, Mobile Legends is so big. The revenues of Mobile Legends is bigger than the revenues of the NBA and the NFL combined. That's how huge the entire business is. But why does he do that? Well, number one, if you end up having to create software, we might as well check if you know how to use the software, especially video games. Number two, Mobile Legends is very particular about choosing characters. In this video game, you are required to choose 5 characters based on your strategy. There's an offensive side, there's a healer, there's whatever it is. And it reveals the way your thinking process works. So this way, he gets to have a good idea of what the applicant wants and how the applicant also thinks. Why am I saying this, ladies and gentlemen? I want you to go beyond the traditional, my interview at my resume. It's not gonna work these days. Madali pong i-memorize ang mga sagot at madaling i-practice yan. Today, if you go to Facebook or if you go to LinkedIn, may mga coaches na nag-hire. Pay me 5,000 pesos and I will practice doing a mock interview with you. And so these things can be easily done. It does reveal the person's goodness as well. I want to give one more example. Let's watch, and I hope this video, by the way, works. Let's watch this quick beauty pageant interview and tell me, how do you think the participant fared in answering the question? Let's play this. Pakilagyan naman po ng audio kung pwede, please.
What do you think people in the future would say about your generation? Again, the question is, what do you think people in the future would say about your generation?
Thank you. I would definitely say that our generation, although misconstrued as very ardent, I would have to say that we use our voice for a reason, and that is to always speak up for the things that we know are right and for the things that we know we deserve. That is why we are very ardent about it. And that is why I'm also conducting colloquiums on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals and their interconnectedness to the nature in hopes to precipitate people's eco-consciousness, because our future is the linebackers and the pioneers of environmental amelioration. And we should always take advantage of it at all costs. Thank you.
Now, I don't know who this person is, and I'm not here to bully her because I don't know her. I think she performed better later on in the other beauty pageants. But my point is this: I don't want us to speak just the way they did. It sounds like ChatGPT. Amelioration, Arden, right? Misconstrue, and I understand these are nice words, but these are also highfalutin words. It's not how we communicate in real life. And I need to highlight, when you have a job interview with a candidate who answers and speaks like this, dapat mo ang mindset, alam na. Dapat ang mindset, and sometimes when a candidate asks me these things, I stop the interview and I tell them, wait a minute, could you please answer the question based on what you think the answer is, not based on what you memorized. Right? We need to step up to the plate, because otherwise we will not be able to find out if the person is worthy of doing this. So be more hardworking when you conduct job interviews. Examples of that: instead of doing categorical questions, for example, what were your responsibilities in your last position? That's a typical question we ask, right? Can I highlight, kung ako po yung aplikante, ang sasagutin ko sa inyo, bakit? Hindi po ba binasa resume ko? And asking this question does not add value to the conversation. It's already there. Plus, it does not tell you if the person is a good fit. So make it more hardworking. Ask questions that are situational. Ask something like, what did you like the most about your last job? It tells you their intention, why are they leaving that company, and why they're applying for that new company instead. It tells you the motives behind the action. Instead of asking questions like, what were your achievements in your last role? Madali po tayong mabudol for that. You know, I had this tech company who asked me a question. Sometimes companies ask me, John, what are you going to do in the talk? And sometimes some companies audition me if they want me to speak for their company. Sometimes I have questions like, John, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think is your capability as a speaker? And when that question is raised to me, inaaway ko yung client and I say, do you really expect me to say 2? Do you really expect me to say 1? It's a question that incriminates the person. It does not add value to you at all. So instead of asking that question, you can ask something like, tell me what was the most challenging project you've ever worked on and how did you manage it? It tests their self-awareness. And more importantly, when a person is self-aware, they are mindful of other people's actions as well. They also know how to step up if they have failed. Another one, don't ask questions like, do you think you're a team player? Malamang, ano po gusto niyo sabihin ko, hindi ako team player? Late na nga po kayo ng 1 hour sa interview, tapos sa tingin niyo, mag-isinungaling pa ako? Right? Of course not. It doesn't add value. Instead, ask questions like, tell me about one time that you had a conflict with a teammate and what did you do about it? These are questions that you cannot easily memorize. These are questions that put the person on the spot. It reveals their true colors. At dyan magkaka-make or break kung sino talaga ang tunay na nararapat na candidate. Right? I want to ask you one more, and here's my favorite question in my job interview. Even if the person, I have a very small company, we're only 18 employees, and every time I need to fill in a vacancy, I ask this question to all positions. Kahit artistic yung position like social media designer or graphics designer from Canva. I ask the question, what is 25 times 28? Can you please tell me what's the answer? On the spot, what is 25 times 28? It's hard, right? But my intention is not to check your mathematical powers. My intention is to check your reaction. You'll be surprised. I've been doing this for more than 10 years now. Whenever I ask this question, I get a few candidates who react violently. And so they're like, I'm applying as a social media designer. Why are you asking this question? But there are some candidates who are very calm. And wow, thank you for the answer. And some candidates will say, John, before I answer your question, could you please tell me first what's the relevance of the question to this interview? Whenever someone tells me that, it's plus points. Why? You have a good idea that this person does not follow things blindly just because it's told to you. I want them to be able to challenge. I want them to think on their own feet. And more importantly, I want them to answer this question calmly. Because if you can't even manage a simple question like this in times of ambiguity in real life, you don't know how to manage stress. You will not be able to manage all the other ambiguities that life can offer for you. Right? Before I end with the last part, can I give away some prizes to our participants? And that's okay? Yes? Parang nagising po kayo lahat. Okay? I want to give some prizes. So, we are in the business of education. We're in the business of giving away tickets. I want to give away tickets to our upcoming workshop on September 28th, Saturday, if you have time, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Fort BGC in the Menorco Tower. Our 2-hour workshop is called Boost Your Confidence. And I want to give away the winner 10 free tickets. If you know the answer, please raise your hand. I don't know how we'll be able to do that because medyo madilim sa likod. But if you know the correct answer, please raise your hand. I would be able to love to give you tickets. The ticket is worth 1,799, so please don't sell the tickets if ever you win the tickets. My question, ready na po kayo? If we can, please turn on the lights. Also, whoever is going to be the winner, we would love to give you 1 free copy of our book. And you can please claim it at the back where our booth is sa may labas. Question is this. Tell me, what do the letters signify? Raise your hand. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. TV networks is the correct answer because if you put them into series of 3 letters, that reflects. So by the way, kapag Gen Z ka, hindi mo to magigets. Right? It has to be revealing a certain age. Congratulations. Please approach us later on at the back for your tickets as well. Palakpak naman po for the winner. Right? Number 2, could you please tell me what this is? Wow. It's not a mouse, and it has something to do with remote work.
Wireless.
I need a specific word.
Wireless.
If you go to Lazada or Shopee, you have to put this word to find out what this item is. It's not a mouse. Sorry?
Wi-Fi.
I need a one word. Not the, wow, speaker talaga. Okay. Pwede? Anyone?
Wi-Fi.
If you don't know this, be mindful because your employees may be using this against you. Yes, ma'am.
Packet Wi-Fi.
Modem. Ang liit ng modem na yan, ma'am, ha? Okay? Yes.
Packet Wi-Fi.
Hardware, no?
Wi-Fi.
Packet Wi-Fi.
Yes. Mouse jiggler is the correct answer. Congratulations. What is a mouse jiggler? Ito pong ginagawa niya. May mga empleyado na work from home na kailangan gising na agad ng alas 8. Kailangan naka-log on. Eh gusto nilang tulog pa rin sila. So what do? A mouse jiggler makes it look like you are online. So it will keep on moving on its own so that when you are being monitored, it looks like you are working. It's only 700 pesos in Lazada and Shopee. So please don't quote me on that. But I need to highlight, that is how work has evolved for many organizations. So as leaders, we need to be mindful of what people have been doing, sometimes irresponsibly as well. Okay? So congratulations to the two winners. Please approach us later on at the back. Our booth is located with our books to claim your tickets and your books as well. Okay, last part. Let's end with the last part. And here is tip number 2. Evolve and develop a deeper understanding of the new generation of the workforce. When I talk about the Gen Y and Gen Z, let's look at how flexibility has changed. Gen X, born 1980 or earlier, notice that the way they see the day is linear. I have work, I go to the office, I take a break, I have my personal life. Gen Y and Gen Z, which is your 1981 or later born, it can be more complex. I have my wake up in the morning, I go to work. However, lunchtime, if there is a gym nearby, I'm not gonna eat. I'm gonna go to the gym. Or I'm gonna apply for a company na may libreng gym subscription. During lunchtime, wag niyo akong papakialaman kasi today ay 9-9 sa Lazada. So I can eat alone and I should not be judged to be antisocial because I prefer to eat alone. During my coffee break, I can work and I can watch my favorite Netflix episode because it's only for 15 minutes. Or for example, I can also hang out with my friends. After work, I go to a coffee shop, I hang out with my friends, etc. And of course, let's not forget, you need to have content update in between. I wake up in the morning, I need to say hi. So there has to be an Instagram post with a mug of coffee with hashtag seize the day. Right? Success is only for those who chase it. Yan. Slay, another day, another slay. Yan. You do that for morning, you content update for lunch, and of course, before you sleep, you don't pray anymore, but you need to know what's happening on TikTok. Right? It's much more complex. And if you look at the life of a Gen X, it's composed of 3 eras. School era, work era, retirement era. The Gen Y and Gen Z don't have a retirement era. Notice this. They do not see that as something that they do after. Everything is intertwined. Which means, why are you making me wait? Hindi ako maghihintay ng 60 years old to go to Siargao because Siargao may not exist anymore. I'm gonna do it this weekend. As long as I have money and as long as I'm not hurting anyone, seize the day. Hashtag YOLO. And please be mindful, remember, the Gen Zs lived at a time when they were entering the workforce during COVID-19, when people were dying left and right. This became an epiphany for a lot of Gen Zs, thinking, if people are going to be subjected to have a short life, dying all the time, why give my best? Do we appreciate that? It's not correct, it's not right to think that way. But can we blame the Gen Zs if they have faced that environment as they were growing up? Do we appreciate that? So I wanted to see it from a compassionate point of view. We need to correct that mindset, but we need to understand why they think that way. That's why the mindset is, hindi naman ako ang tagapagmana ng kumpanyang ito. So bakit ko ibibigay lahat? And I need to highlight this happened at a time when inflation remains to be very high. The Gen X were able to purchase cars and houses in the 1980s, 1990s. Gen Zs and Gen Ys will not have an easy way out. So what's the point? I'm not gonna be rich. The system is flawed. That's why there's Grab. You can't buy your own car, you rent it. You can't have your own house, you go to Airbnb, you rent it. It's a renting economy, not an owning economy. That's how the Gen Z sees things. So I want to see it from that light as well. If you look at also the definition of fun, can I ask you to look at your seatmate and ask for 30 seconds? What do you think is the definition of fun for a Gen Z employee? 30 seconds, time starts now. Fun.
Money. Food.
Milk tea. Okay. Alright.
Tea.
Now, I want to reveal some answers. In 2022, we were commissioned by a company and we made a study covering more than 2,000 Gen Z employees in Manila, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Singapore, and Ho Chi Minh. The top answer from the Gen Z participants, and they were allowed to give multiple answers, survey says, 1 is culture. the ability to have a flexi time, the ability to speak up even if I'm the youngest person in the meeting room. That's why it's typical for them to ask in job interview, kamusta po yung mga tao? Are they toxic? Are they nice? Right? The second response is freebies and benefits. Of course, free phone, free laptop, free food, free coffee. Right? Very typical. And I think it's not just a youngster thing. I think everyone aspires to have that. Right? Hindi lang libre, sana pwede kayong magbaon pa uwi. With Tupperwares, right? The third is, anyone make a guess? What's the third one? The third is office space and layout. Instagrammable offices. Ito yung mga examples na, hi, today I'm in the pantry. Yeah, right. That's my friend, say hello. Yeah. That's a very typical Gen Z. So, we want colors to pop. We want a place to not just be there for my cubicle. It's a place that I can escape from my 10 square foot apartment. This is why you cannot deny Gen Zs love to be in the office. For some of them, not because they are hardworking, but because the office is carpeted. The office has aircon. The office has free coffee. Right? And so, a good office is a place to hang out as well. Fourth is product is aligned with my values in life, followed by other things. But if you notice, so by the way, happy hours nandiyan pa rin. A Gen X will call happy hour as like outing or excursion. Diba? Outing. A Gen Z will not get that. For them, ano yung outing? Diba? Outing means like going to Pagudpod or to Pansol. Yan. Diba? For them, it's hanging out. We're gonna go to Siargao to vibe with our friends. That's their new definition, right? And of course, outreach projects and also CSRs. Now, why is it that Gen Zs love to talk about themselves? And why is it that it's always just about themselves? I want to give a biological explanation about this. There are two things that compose rational decision-making for our body. The amygdala and your prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is responsible for survival. When you are adolescent or teenager, it's the amygdala that dominates your thinking. But if you are an adult, it's your prefrontal cortex. So for example, if you are in a bus and there's an old lady who needs to sit down, the prefrontal cortex will tell you, John, the lady needs the seat. Please give it up. It's the right thing to do. The amygdala, however, will tell you, for example, John, deserve mo yan. Huwag mong ibigay. You fought for it. Sit down. Do we appreciate that? And so I need to highlight that when you have employees or candidates in job interviews that ask questions immediately on the first interview, magkano pong sweldo? Work from home po ba to? It's not because they're evil person. It's because it's their amygdala that's driving that decision making. People need to be selfish at a younger age because they need to survive. They need to protect themselves. I just need to highlight this because when we were younger, we were also like this. I want you to remind yourself of the foolish things that you've done when you were 17, when you were 20, when you were 21. The goal, of course, is not to tolerate. The goal is to coach. The goal is to tell them why is it important that just because you've sent emails, hindi pwedeng promoted agad. At hindi 18 months bago ma-promote. It takes more time to do that as well. Of course, don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of people in my life 40 or 50 years old na, pero mukhang amygdala pa rin. And nag-drive ng decision making. That's fine. But the goal is to understand, again with a level of compassion, the goal is not to judge. The goal is to coach. The goal is to educate the employees as well. A study by SAT in 2020 looks at this. If they ask the millennials and the Gen X, how often do you prefer the feedback? Daily is too much. It's too disruptive. Annually is too little. Monthly and quarterly is a good time for you to share those thoughts. I also need to highlight this. There is no such thing as telling your employee, alam mo Jonathan, noong July 4 p.m., no one remembers that. You say the feedback the moment it happens as much as you can because learning is best absorbed when the moment is high. We don't wait for next week because next week becomes next month becomes next quarter. While you are delaying the feedback, the employee is misled to think na akala niya ang galing-galing niya, yung pala hindi. We don't wait. We say it when it needs to be said, and we need to be confrontational because let's face it, our culture sometimes is not confrontational enough. We think it can be done via silent treatment or something else. Here's one more. Check on your style of giving feedback. Kaya ka na-challenge magbigay ng feedback is because number one, you treat feedback like a 1-hour closed-door FBI investigation meeting. Doesn't have to be like that. It can be as casual as a few chats here and there. Leverage on technology. It's a simple sentence on chat. You know what I learned during COVID-19? I learned that a lot of Gen Zs and Gen Y love to use voice messaging. I judged voice messaging before, but voice messaging works out. Why? It is like a text message where you can read it and listen to it at your own convenient time, but the explanation is richer. The tone, the pitch, the speed, it clarifies properly what you want the employee to do. Plus, kahit nagje-jebs ka pa, pwede ka mag-send ng voice message. Kahit nagda-drive ka, of course, drive safely. It's easier to do that than to text. While you're walking, it's easier to send a voice message as well. It gets the job done quickly. Just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean it's wrong. Your goal as a leader is to explore other technologies that allows you to evolve in how to manage these people as well. Finally, let's talk about also this part. Hindi lang po lahat ng feedback kailangan sabihin. Pwede rin po siya via actions. Pwede rin po siya via gestures. To give an example, last 2 slides. If you look at the learning style of your people, may iba't ibang learning styles po tayo. Some employees are auditory learners. One-on-one conversation. Some people are visual learners. Kailangan may video, kailangan may photo, kailangan may infographics. The younger the employees are, the more they prefer their ideas to be visual. Remember, pati po sa simbahan, si Father, nagka-Canva na. Nagpa-PowerPoint. Why? It's the best way to engage an audience. We are living at a time when everything has to be visually stimulating. Kailangan aesthetic. Right? The third type of learning is kinesthetic. I cannot use the new software if you don't give me the software to touch, to press, to make mistakes. A PDF manual will not be enough. I have to learn beyond that as well. As leaders and managers, we need to adjust. Pag tumatanda po tayo sometimes, we are more biased to auditory learning. Di na kailangan ng slides, talkies na lang. Gets nila yan. And then you'll try to be surprised. Bakit 2 hours town hall meeting, natutulog lahat? And that's because they're not auditory learners. They're visual learners. Spend some time making those slides. One more. Let's look at this item. Are you familiar with love language? Right? And we know that people express their love differently. Some people, insecure kapag walang sinasabi na, bebe ko, good morning. Kailangan sabihin, otherwise, I don't think we're together still. Some people gusto hatid sundo sa office, right? So we express our love differently. But may I remind you, this applies in the corporate world. Our fellow employees and managers have their own love language. To give an example, by the way, give me your love language, shout out. Give me your love language. Time, right? Gcash. Oh. Gcash is a love language, no? Pwede. Right. It falls under what? Gifts. May I remind the participants in the room that the older we get, we have a mindset that everyone just needs something from us. Pag may lumapit na empleyado, ang mindset, oh, anong kailangan mo? Oh, magkano? This is why Gen X leaders have this unconscious bias. For me to make it look like I care for you, on a Friday afternoon, I'm gonna buy boxes of pizza. I'm gonna treat you to some coffee. But may I also remind you, boss, thank you sa pizza, thank you sa coffee, pero hindi po yun ang kailangan ko right now. You're asking me to finish this job, but you don't even spend time coaching me how to use the software. So my love language on top of gift is also time. The goal is to adjust, and the goal is to know who our people are. The older we get, we find it very corny to say the words, good job, amazing, good work. But I want to remind you, for Gen Zs and Gen Y, it matters to them. So if you think that saying good job, slide number 4, ang galing, napaka-complete. If it's what they need to hear for them to continue doing well in their job, please spend the time to say it. Because words of affirmation, in this case, is their love language. Your way is not the only way. Right? Are we learning something so far? Are we, yep. Okay, let's end the workshop. Before I continue, can I give one last set of prizes? And again, if you know the correct answer, please raise your hand. For this specific prize, I want to give away tickets to our last workshop. And this workshop is Leadership Masterclass. That's also happening on September 27. So Friday na po to ah. So September 27 at Fort BGC. If you know the correct answer, please do raise your hand. A lot of our topics about managing Gen Z and Gen Y are also in this session. So, correct answer, please raise your hand. My first question is this, and of course, we're going to give you a free copy as well of our book. Tell me what is, wow, sir, naman. Okay, what is wrong on this slide? Nagtaas po agad si sir kanina. Yes, go ahead. The word the is double. Congratulations, sir. Please claim your prize at the back. For those who did not get it, I will give you 30 seconds to look at the slide. To appreciate if you... Okay, drawing that. I think there's a moral lesson here. Sometimes we get distracted by the glossy, colorful things in life, and yet the problems are the fundamental ones that are at the back. Right? Second question. Kung ready na po kayo? Tell me, what are the two missing numbers? What are the two missing numbers? Yes, ma'am? And one more? And 30. Ang dami niyo pong coaches, ha? Congratulations. Thank you. 23 and 30 are the correct answers. First, those who still don't get it, I will give you 30 seconds again to look at the slide. Palakpak naman po tayo for all the winners. Thank you. Now, as we end, I'd like to share some last few quotes. One of my favorite quotes about leadership. The first one, I want to share, and this is something about a metaphor about candles. Blowing out someone else's candle doesn't make yours shine any brighter. It doesn't. However, may I also remind you that there's something good about sharing your light. And that is, if you share your light, a candle does not lose. Yung clicker nyo, pakiayos po, nawawalang momentum yung aking drama eh. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. The next one, okay, kunyari po hindi pa nakikita yung slide. Okay, kunyari surprise tayo lahat. Paki-click na lang po kasi ayaw na talaga gumana. It's giving up on me. Ayan. The ultimate role of a leader is to make more leaders out of others. Once you become a leader, it's no longer about you. It never is gonna be. You don't put the spotlight on yourself, you put the spotlight on your people. And I promise you this, the moment you provide the best things for your people, coach them, support them, everything else will follow. I wish you all the best. Maraming salamat po and good luck in your endeavors.
Thank you once again, Mr. Jonathan Yabut.